Welcome in, everybody, to the Jays Digest pregame show. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Now, we only got to do this preseason action 2 more times before we get into the regular season on March 30th against the St. Louis Cardinals. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be the last serious game that the Blue Jays play in spring training. And, man, I'm just super excited. I think tomorrow's going to be a bit of a throwaway game for them. But today, they got their full lineup out there, aside from maybe George Springer and Chris Bassett on the hill. So pretty decent lineup out there.
Yeah, like you said, it's probably the last, big powerhouse lineup. Maybe one more, but this is probably the last big one. What's up, Owen, Fluffy, Ocean View, Nick, Mike? Hope we're all doing good on this Monday afternoon. Hopefully it helps your Mondays go by a bit faster. But yeah, it's we're now 3 sleeps away until opening day, which is very, very exciting against the Cardinals. And let's just get into the lineup preview. It's been a couple days since we've done one of these duos. Peter, you obviously held the fort down yesterday in the watch along there, but I'm happy to be back in the pregame show at the very least. And let's get into the lineup today. And here it is. This is the Blue Jays lineup. In case you missed it, Nick's saying it's starting to drag on a little bit. Spring training is definitely starting to feel a bit monotonous at this point. I feel like for the past 2 weeks, for me personally, it's felt a bit dry. But here's one.
There.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
All right, we have Merrifield leading off, Bo Bichette second, Guerrero third, Belt fourth, and Varsho, Jansen, Biggio, Espinal, Kiermaier with Bassett taking the bump. Now, every single lineup in here, or every single player in the lineup is a MLB player who is going to be on the roster. And like you said, Peter, the only difference is probably opening day. Biggio and Espinal are out, Springer and Merrifield are in. But what are your thoughts on that lineup?
Chapman.
And Chapman as well,
Chapman also. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the lineup today? Anything you're looking out, or is this kind of just to, I'm curious to see about Chris Bassett's the main thing at this point, because the hitters, they could go 0 for 5, and I really couldn't care less.
No, honestly, I just want to see some good at-bats. I don't really care about the pitching too much. We know what we're going to get out of them once the season starts. Chris Bassett, steady Eddie. You know what you're going to get out of him once March 30th rolls around. I just want to see some good ABs from Bichette, Guerrero, Belton, and give us some fireworks, man. We've had a lot of quiet offensive performances. I know spring's getting long. You want the season to start, but let's have an offensive explosion today. I want to see 10 runs before the regulars are out of there in the 7th inning. That's what I want to see.
Well, let's hope that happens, and we'll show you in a minute. The Phillies lineup is also similar to the Jays in the sense of they're loaded. Yeah, Ocean View, exactly. Lineup has been a bit dry with no Berger or Relvis and other surprising prospects. Yeah, it makes the games without regulars a bit, that much more dry. But also something to note today, and so the screenshot doesn't show it, but the bullpen, I'm assuming a lot more of the regulars pitch out of the bullpen today. Obviously, Zach Pop's not going to pitch because he pitched back-to-back yesterday and the day before, but maybe Romano gets their final bit of work in, and who knows. But like you said, Peter, this is probably the last time we're going to see this full lineup until Thursday when it actually counts. There might be some scattered ones in there. Matt Chapman might play tomorrow. I'd assume he does, and then from there, but I don't know. I'm super excited, and hopefully we get some good pitching today. And like you said, the bats have been ice cold for the past seemingly week, but I'm hoping they get locked in. But here's the Phillies lineup. Trey Turner, Carlos Schwarber, Real Muto, Derek Hall, Nick Castellanos, Stott, Bohm, Marsh, Guthrie, Taiwan Walker. So very similar to their opening day lineup as well, of course, excluding a couple people. But anything you're excited for this, or are you just more excited to see Chris Bassett and the pitchers go up against an MLB lineup, which is something we're seeing most of the time?
Yeah, that top 3 is just absolutely disgusting. One of the best in all of baseball. And it's too bad about Rhys Hoskins. He's going to miss the season. Bryce Harper's going to miss a lot of time, too. I think they were one of the early favorites for the World Series, especially after getting Trey Turner. But now I think the Jays may have leapfrogged them. I had the Phillies over the Jays just before the Rhys Hoskins injury, but now I'd probably go Jays and then Phillies. But they got a really good lineup. They got some very exciting players, and anytime Trey Turner's on the ball field, I mean, you're gonna get some fireworks, man. He's gonna steal bases, he's gonna hit triples, he's gonna hit bombs, and he's one of the best players the league has to offer.
I agree, and I like the Jays over the Phillies now too. I think I would have agreed with you, especially because obviously they added Trey Turner. But with Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper down, I think the Jays clear them. Rachid's saying we almost turned it around in the 7th yesterday. Yeah, the game yesterday was a bit. We didn't do a video on it. We just kind of decided to take especially after Peter's long stream, we just took the day off because it's we're so close to opening day, and once opening day hits, the content's gonna be flying. So what's up, Carol? What's happening, guys? Who's in our lineup today? Here you go. Before we move on to the rapid fire, I'll give you guys one last overview of the lineup. Mostly regulars. Get to see everyone, play. Someone else who's not in there as well for opening day was Kirk instead of Jansen, which Kirk he didn't play yesterday either. So I wonder if, I guess they're just giving him some rest. But Honestly, what they're probably doing with Kirk is
Kirk
did he?
played yesterday.
Okay,
Kirk played
well,
yesterday.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know
did.
why. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't watching the game, so that's probably why I missed that. But did he look better with the pitch clock? I know he was been having some issues with that. With I know like calling time and stuff. There was an article about it. I think I read that he was doing better with that.
I mean the game offensively speaking was a bit of a bore. Bowden
Yeah,
Francis looked really good yesterday, before being taken out in the fifth inning, and Zach Pop gave up back-to-back
yeah.
home runs. So
That's
that's pretty. But against Aaron Judge and Anthony Rizzo, so you can't really fault them for that. But it was a good game on the pitching side of things. I saw some decent things out of the starters, out of the bullpen arms as well, but the bats have just been ice cold, and not because they're no good, just they're bored. They're
yeah.
bored, and
Maybe
they want opening day to roll around as we do, and as we do get into opening day, I want to ask you my rapid fire
yeah.
question.
Let's just get right into it.
So I'll start off with that.
And
I'll start
quickly
off with
hit the
my
like
rapid
button as
fire
well.
question.
Before Peter asks his
Yeah.
question, hit the like button. Let's get up to 10 likes. But yeah, shoot with your rapid fire question. Kirk will rest because he's catch for opening day. Why isn't Springer in the lineup? Just getting some rest. He's obviously been injury plagued for a while, but he's just getting some extra rest. But
Yeah.
what's your rapid fire, Peter?
Yeah, so I saw this report that came out yesterday. It was about Ricky Tiedemann, and they said they're going to start him off for the season about
What's up,
like
Shane?
in a six-man rotation. So he's going to pitch once every 6 days as opposed to every 5 days, which means that they're easing him into the full workload of a professional athlete, and then they're going to have him maybe pitch some innings later on in the season. Now, do you think he's going to pitch for the Toronto Blue Jays in 2023?
I think I've been pondering this question a while. I think the answer will be it depends on injuries, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. That'll be my answer.
I think he makes his debut. I think he makes his debut
Probably.
this year,
Hmm.
but in a
Late.
very
Yeah, I'm gonna
limited
change
role.
my answer to
Very
like
limited.
September. I'm gonna change my answer to September. So chat, let us know. You think
Yeah.
Tiedeman's gonna pitch this year? Yeah, I think they want to get him maybe some. It depends as well, but I mean, I don't think they're gonna force him into it. But no, Matt says no. Owen says yeah, late, maybe September. It's tough though with that injury. Though he is. I think Ben Nicholson Smith tweeted today that he's full. He's back now, fully pitched in a spring training game or
Yeah,
minor league game. Sorry,
yeah, he's okay. Like the injury was just honestly just precaution.
precaution.
They didn't want to push him too much, but I think we see him. I think we see him, but very late.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance he pitches early. No, is Springer hurt already? No, Springer's not hurt. They're just giving him some extra rest there before the season starts. Rashid saying yes. Mark saying Tiedemann 23, not a chance. Shane saying I hope he doesn't pitch in 2023. Means something catastrophic happened unless it's September call up. Yeah, I'm leaning towards September call up just to get him some reps like they did with I guess Otto Lopez last year. And we still actually. I was gonna do my rapid fire question into that, and I think I asked this one last time, but I'll ask it. Michelle's saying hopefully not this year because it likely means an injury to our major leaguers. Yeah, and Arden Zwelling made I think he said in this podcast that right now Zach Thompson is the number 6 starter for what it's worth, ahead of Mitch White, obviously because of injuries and stuff like that.
Well, okay. Mark's asking here why start his clock if he's a September call up. That's not a year of service time. You still have him for
Yeah,
6 years, so you don't have to worry about that. But I just think they want to get him reps. But it all depends how many innings he throws in the minor leagues. I don't know what his max is for this year, but you don't want him throwing over 120, I'd assume. And even 120 is pushing it, considering he was at 70, 75 last year. So maybe you get him some innings out of the bullpen, similar to what the Astros did with Hunter Brown last year. They gave him like 20 innings out of the bullpen. I don't expect that to happen for Ricky Tiedemann, but now Hunter Brown is in their rotation this year, so he needed those playoff reps. He needed those late season, regular season reps to get ready for a bigger role in this season.
yeah. And do you think that he pitches in the playoffs at all? I would say no, but
Well,
possible.
it all depends. It depends how he looks, and it depends how everyone else is doing. But if everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing in the big league ball club, then he
No,
won't pitch in
I
the
agree.
playoffs. They won't throw him into the fire too
I'll
quickly.
shift my rapid fire question to the. I asked a similar one a few days ago, and I want to ask it again because it's literally the only major question remaining for the Blue Jays. And John Schneider touched on it, I believe, yesterday or the day before, but the final roster spot, of course, is down to Vinny Capra, Otto Lopez, Nathan Lucas, those three primarily. And John Snyder said that they're not looking necessarily for someone outside of the organization, but the fact that there are some free agents available has made their decision, I guess, more difficult. Would you rather see them go with Otto Lopez or Nathan Lucas, or would you want them to add a potential free agent as that fourth outfielder spot personally right now? I'm obviously leaning towards Otto Lopez, but would you be more intrigued in maybe a more veteran guy for the fourth outfielder spot? In chat, let us know. Would you rather internal and Otto Lopez, or maybe look for someone external, like, I don't know, Christian Pache was apparently available, but someone like him. I wouldn't want him.
Pache cannot hit, man.
Someone
he can't hit. He can't hit. Darren Ruff is available. He was DFA'd or released by the Mets, I believe, and he's a veteran guy. He's a veteran guy who did very well with San Francisco. Hits lefties very well. Has an 850 plus OPS, I believe, against left-handers. So that would be an option to look at. But he's awful. He's awful defensively. So yeah, he's not awful against righties, but I mean, he's more of a platoon guy. So for him to be playing in the outfield, I'm not too comfortable with that, especially with the new rules, the new dimensions at the Rogers Center. So I'd probably lean internal towards Otto Lopez, although Darren Ruff is a name to lock at.
Okay, I like it. Owen saying internal, Shane saying Otto first, Lucas second, outside third, Capra fourth. That's probably what they're going with. Mark saying external, Scott Lopez internal. Why not sign? I don't think they're going to sign Pache. We have enough defensive first outfielders. I mean, 2 out of our 3 in the outfield on our starting lineup is defensive first. Stick with Otto or Lucas.
Is Christian Pache is on the A's.
So maybe whoever commented
He's
that,
on the A's.
Maybe whoever commented that wasn't right. Pache is the new Malik Smith. Bring up Lopez and have Witt as the fourth outfielder and have Otto as a utility player. I feel like that's the most likely case here. Is that right there? And then for any long-term issues, maybe you do bring up Lucas, who is a primary outfielder rather than a secondary. Espinal is the utility player. I mean, yeah, but you also have Kevin Biggio. I wouldn't know. I'd say Kevin Biggio is more of a utility player than Espinal there, because Espinal doesn't really play outfield.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I mean, Espinal, you could stick him at second, short, or third, and it won't hurt you, but he doesn't have the reps in the outfield. So,
do you have any final rapid fire before we move on to the bold predictions for today's game or the Jays' upcoming season, which is kind of what we've been transitioning to because no one really cares about these spring training games anymore?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you have any? I don't have any off the top of my head.
I mean, I'll just ask the question, and I was going to ask this in the Q&A, but may as well do it now. What's your over-under for Blue Jays wins this season? I'll just set the over-under at 90. I think the Caesar Sportsbook was 94.5, I think, or 93.5. But I'm going to go 94.5 over-under. So will the Jays get 95 wins or more? Yes or no? Chat, let me know. Peter, what's your guess for? Or you can just give me their prediction for how many wins you think they're going to get.
I think they're going to get 96.
Okay, so you're saying over 95, okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
I saw one guy on Twitter said the Jays won't win 70 games this year.
There were some haters floating around.
I felt he was a former reporter for Sportsnet, I believe. So I felt like texting him, "Hey man, why don't we bet $5,000 that the Jays win more than 70 games this year?" Like I would put my life savings that they would win at least 70 games.
Doubt.
So
Nick's saying,
but I'd go 96.
Nick's saying 96. Shane saying 101. Michelle 98. Owen 98 is the maximum for the Jays. So, and I guess I'll quickly ask Peter: do you think that has your stance changed about the Jays winning the AL East because of the Yankees' injuries so far, or do you think the Yankees still clear them?
Wait, sorry. What was
do you think the Yankees still beat? This is a question I'm asking, not the chat. Do you think the Yankees still clear the Jays as AL East champions even after their injuries so far and the fact that they're bringing up Anthony Volpe?
The Jays got to start off hot.
I agree.
That's the big key of the season. So if they don't pitch well to start the year, if they don't hit well to start the year, then once the Yankees get healthy, they're the better team. I think as constructed right now, the Yankees have better pitching. I still think their bullpen is better. Their lineup isn't as good as the Blue Jays, but they have Aaron Judge, and the Jays don't have Aaron Judge. So he can win you a game single-handedly, and he proved to do that a lot last year.
You do have Vladdy.
The rest of the lineup.
You do have Vladdy.
Yes, but he's not Aaron Judge. Not yet.
True.
Not yet.
At least last year.
When Aaron Judge when Aaron Judge is going like Aaron Judge should be, and the rest of the lineup hits to what they're supposed to be doing, that's a scary team, man. That is a scary team. And I still lean towards the Jays for their lineup, but if the Yankees are clicking, they're a better team, man.
Yeah, I
They're a
agree with
better team.
Ocean. The AL wild card is wide, or the AL East is wide open. And like you said, the Jays need to get off hot. It's very important. We saw the Yankees do it last year, and they took off, and they ended up winning the AL East. The Jays never fully caught up. But if the Jays can, jeez, if the Jays can get off hot, we're good. I don't know what just happened outside, but if the Jays set off hot, they'll be good to go. But let's get into the bold predictions now, and we can just do one each. You can either choose to do it for the game, or do you have a bold prediction for the Jays season? You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the season.
Yeah, I think I might as well because these games are. Shout out Queensway Automotive as well as the graphic popped up. It's hidden, but shout out to them for supporting us. But go ahead and I guess give us your bold prediction for the J season.
Okay.
Or chat, let us know your bold prediction for the J season if you have something that you think other people haven't said yet. And make sure, let's get to 20 likes. We're at 14 now. 30 plus you in here. Make sure to hit the like button. But what's yours, Peter?
I'm gonna go with Bo Bichette finishes top 5 in MVP voting.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Mine's gonna be. We might have a preview stream for the season where we go over a bunch of them. I'm just gonna go Vladdy wins MVP. I'm gonna go Vladdy wins MVP.
MVP.
Wow. Yeah,
bold. In the same league as Otani.
And that's the issue.
I mean, I guess you're praying for an Otani trade mid-season then to the National League.
Either that
or hope.
Yeah, I mean that's about the only way. Or maybe he has some regression, but I doubt that'll happen. Yankees and Jays will probably be within 2 games of the All-Star break. Depends who can stay hot in the second half. It's better to have players to fill specific positions. Belt, Jensen, and Kiermaier all get their first home runs today. I like it. Red Sox will be tough too. I have no clue. Honestly, the World Baseball Classic has given, I'm sure, Red Sox fans some more hope for their team. I'll tell you that for sure.
Kikuchi will Yoshida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kikuchi will be better than Bassett. I like that prediction. I don't think it'll be. It's possible. Varsho finishes top 15 in MVP voting. Wow. Bichette wins his first Silver Slugger.
Okay, I want to ask you this. I want to ask the chat this as well.
Let's just move on.
Who do you guys think? Yeah. Who do you guys think is going to win Rookie of the Year? Who do you think, Nick? In the AL, in the American League?
Gunnar.
I think National League is a two-man race between Walker and Jordan Walker and Corbin Carroll, but the AL is pretty wide open. So who do you think?
I like Gunnar Henderson for that. I also Anthony Volpe. No, I don't think Volpe's gonna win it, but I'm happy the Yankees called him up for the sake of baseball. I'm happy they did that, but I'm gonna go with Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar Henderson, okay. Man, this is tough because there are 4 legitimate guys I think that can win Rookie of the Year, and those guys are Tristan Cassis, Yoshida. So two Red Sox, Gunnar Henderson, and Anthony Volpe, I believe, can also win Rookie of the Year. I think I'm going to go with Yoshida. The guy's just too good of a hitter.
So I think said too, yeah.
I did not believe he was that good because he only did it in Japan. But man, I have a new appreciation for the NPB.
Who won it last year?
Those guys throw so hard.
Why that's
Who won Rookie of the Year last year?
I don't know why it slipped my mind. Maybe if chat knows. We were so focused on the wild card game, we recovering from the wild card loss, we forgot to. I don't know who won it.
Just J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Gunnar Yoshida and Fenway.
He was an MVP. He could have been an MVP any other year.
Volleyball wins Rookie of the Year and Yankees miss playoffs. I'm assuming you mean Volpe and then autocorrected to volleyball. Gunnar Yoshida, Volpe. Gunnar, Orioles have been trending upwards. They also have, of course, Adley Rutschman, who I guess isn't. He can't win the award, I guess, right? Jays will go 100.
Rutschman finished second last year.
Yeah.
In
How many games did he play last year? It was a good bit.
Like over 100, but he had over 5 wins above replacement. 5.2, I believe.
Unbelievable player.
In 105 games, or something like that.
Yeah, he could have won it last year. He's going to cause the Jays nightmares for a while. Jays will go 162.
Future MVP.
Yeah,
I think he's a future MVP. Yep.
I'll ask a question as well for chat here as we have 5 minutes till first pitch, and let's get to 20 likes. Like I said, we're at 16 now, but why is this slipping my mind? It was something. Okay, Peter, take over a second. I'm going to try to remember this question. I don't know what it was. It was about You got to answer the question. I gotta remember.
What do you guys think of the leaked pictures of the new Rogers Center walls? They look cool, man.
Yeah, the screen
They
is
look
really
really
nice.
cool. I can't wait to see it on April 11th. I would love to go to that opening day, but my exams got pushed back a little
Same.
bit, so I can't go. But I'm gonna probably be going down in May 15th for the Yankees series, and we'll go from there. August 12th is another date that's confirmed with me, the Jose Bautista
They're
Day.
sold out.
I'm gonna be there as well, so they are sold out. So I got them at the right time.
Yeah, I don't know what my question was, so I'm just gonna move on from it. I don't know why
Do you think Varsho could ever win an MVP? I don't. I don't think so.
if he has a major improvement to his hitting, maybe. But
Well, I just it's too loaded.
I got my question back.
AL
I got
is
my
just
question
too
back.
loaded.
I
Yeah,
got my
go
question
for it.
back.
Go for it.
How? It's just a broad question. How good do you think Gabriel Moreno is going to perform this year for the Diamondbacks?
Really good.
He's
Really
gonna
good. Like
play a lot now because the other catcher got injured for them. I don't know if he's back, but
yeah,
read his name. But
what's his name? Carson Kelly.
yeah,
Carson Kelly got hurt. Yeah. He's gonna start the season as their everyday catcher, and I expect him to run away with that job. So yeah, I think he's gonna be like a 280 hitter in his first season. Bat to ball skills are just unreal. His arm is his best tool that he possesses. It's just
power
all
is the
about
one question as
managing
well.
it's power and managing a pitching
Agreed.
staff because he didn't show the capability of doing that, but it's not fair to judge him on those 20 games that he played either because he wasn't familiar with the staff that the Jays have, but he'll definitely be in the conversation for rookie of the year, probably top 5, but I'd lean toward his teammate Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, I think so too. But maybe he. I'm hoping by the end of the year it'll be a win-win trade for everyone. And again, we won't really know until 4 or 5 years down the line because obviously Moreno's a few years younger and things like that. But if Varsho can perform, that's kind of the main question is how Varsho will do. And I think
And
he'll be great.
I'll ask you this too. Okay, so I'll stick with Gabriel Moreno. I want to see him do well because I think he's a very talented player, and by next year he's going to be a top 8 catcher in all of baseball. He's good, but Dalton Varsho is what the Blue Jays needed, so it was a win-win trade for both teams. Do you think Gabriel Moreno, considering his playing time early on in the season, is going to have 3.5 WAR or above?
Under.
Under? You're gonna go under? I'm going over, man. I think he's
Though
close
if he
to
plays a
4.
ton, then maybe over. I just don't. I'm gonna go with 3.1 or 3.2. That's what I think it'll be.
That's still very good.
Very good.
It's still
Very
really
good.
good.
And
for a
there's
rookie
an
year.
easy world where he hits 4. I don't think he's gonna get much higher than 4, but I think there's a world where he hits 4, and then in the future he could be easily a 6-win player.
I think he's gonna like remain at a
It's also
4 to
possible.
5 win,
Also possible.
which is still very
It
good.
depends how his power
It's
develops
still,
a lot for me. It really does because
That's the
if he
thing.
can hit
That's
25
the
home
thing.
runs, that pumps his WAR up by a lot just because of his OPS and things like that.
And I'll ask you about his teammate too, Corbin Carroll. Over under 4.9 wins above replacement.
I think he's around 4.5 to 5. I think that's where he is this year.
I'm gonna go over. I think he's 5.5. I think he's 5.5 win player, and that's why the Diamondbacks were okay with giving up Varsho. So they got a 5-win player just sitting in the minor leagues.
I guess speaking about that too, we'll just stay on this topic. We're chasing around 3. I agree. Who do you think falls off first as a catcher, Kirk or Jansen? It's a good question. I think this year, I think they both have great years. I don't think either of them really fall off. But I mean, in the future, I'd say Jansen falls off first because he's older. I guess that would be my answer.
Yeah, Kirk is also 24, man. We got to remember this
He's
guy
young.
is going to be good for a long time, which is also again a reason as to why the Jays were okay with parting ways with Moreno. Is Moreno going to be a better catcher than Kirk? Like an actual catcher?
Probably not.
Probably.
I mean, as a player.
Yeah, as an all-around player, probably.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
He doesn't have holes in his game, but
You're right.
Alejandro Kirk is a special player, man. Like he can hit better than any
I think
catcher.
Kirk. Yeah, I think Kirk will be. I thought you meant. Okay, I thought where you're going with that was who will be a better hitter. So that's why I said Kirk will be a better hitter.
No,
but
no,
I think
no, not
Moreno
hit,
will be a
not
better overall catcher for sure.
because he can run too, man. He can run
And
too.
well, before we wrap up, I'll ask the chat this final question. Let's get to 20 likes. We're 2 away, but obviously when the trade happened, it was of course Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Moreno for Dalton Varsho. And I'll Peter to you as well, but I know your reaction was the same. Has your reaction changed at all now about the trade, given the the other outfield moves we made, i.e. Kevin Kiermaier. So essentially, what the trade ended up being was Dalton Varsho and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Sorry, Gabriel Moreno and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. for Kevin Kiermaier and Dalton Varsho. So you're replacing Lourdes with Kiermaier and then Varsho with Moreno. Are you Peter? Do you think that was good? Do you think it was an upgrade? I think Kevin Kiermaier is going to be a higher WAR player than Lourdes this year. Maybe a hot take, but I think that's what I think ultimately that's what it will be, just because of Lourdes' defense.
Yeah, well, they needed to upgrade their defense, and that was their downfall. That was their downfall all season long. Their outfield was lazy. They didn't hustle, and that was a big problem come playoff time. They just didn't make the plays that they needed to make. So I'm okay with the move. It sucks seeing your top prospect go, who was one of the top 10 in all of baseball, and that's always a tough pill to swallow. But you got to look at what you're getting back. Dalton Varsho is a left-handed power hitter that you needed, and he's an outfielder who's going to win a Gold Glove in left field. I can almost guarantee that he's going to win the Gold Glove in left field, and he's going to be around a 4.5 win player to 5 win player for the next 4 years at minimum. And he's only getting started. That was his first full year last year, and he looked unbelievable. So I'm okay with the trade. I think Lourdes Gurriel and Gabriel Moreno are great players, and they're going to do well in Arizona. But I love the trade. I love it.
I think if they made the Varsho trade first, they never signed Kiermaier. It's another interesting point. Now, what would you have? Do you think if they made the Varsho trade, would you have preferred an outfield? Would you prefer our outfield now or the outfield of Varsho in center, let's say Teoscar in left and Springer in right? Which would you have rathered? Without Eric Swanson, of course. Because that's the tough question.
That's a tough question, man. That's a really tough question. So,
and I guess it's too hard of a question to answer, because then you also probably have to get into the salary with Chris Bassett, because that was one of the main reasons they shedded the salary, was to get him. So it all.
Now the thing I'll say here is that probably before spring training started, I would have said, give me Kiermaier and Swanson. But now looking at the depth that the Blue Jays have in the bullpen, man, all those fireballers that there is in AAA, man, I think I would keep Teoscar over Eric Swanson and have him play in the corner next to Varsho and George Springer.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I do like the change of culture and the improved defense, because
I like it too. I like it too. But he's such a good hitter.
He is.
Like, he's such a good hitter, man. And I think you honestly still could have signed Kiermaier and just DH'd Teoscar Hernandez as opposed to getting Brandon Belt.
Oh yeah, I guess we also have Belt too. There's so many questions to ask, but let's just wrap it up now. The game has started. We're getting into the rabbit hole of the opening day, which is about to happen, and we're getting into the nooks and crannies of it. Matt saying Springer versus Hernandez. Kiermaier's only staying for this year, so I think that factors in. Yeah, but that'll wrap it up. Anything you want to say, Peter, before we wrap it up? And we'll have a video tonight of some sort, probably just a post-game reaction. There's not too much going on right now because we're obviously 3 days away, so no news, no moves are being made. So we'll come up with something for tonight, though.
We're almost there, guys. Hang in there. Thursday, just a couple days away. Only a couple sleeps away, and we are almost there.
Very, very, very close. And we get to see Manoah, Gausman, Bassett, back to back to back. And again, for just a quick reminder, Friday there is no game, so make your plans accordingly. We play Thursday, off Friday, and then you got a weekend of baseball. But that'll wrap it up. Remember, pre-game hour-long show on Thursday as well. And that'll wrap it up. Take it easy. Enjoy the game today if you're watching. If you're not, well, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll